Hello, I'm Mike and welcome back to Discover Crypto. Apologies for not getting out a video earlier in the week, but I was sick on Monday and it's thrown my schedule back and into chaos. But I'm recovered now and catching up on things. And today I've got a slightly different format of video where I'm going to do a quick presentation comparing the strengths and weaknesses of Parallel Finance and Clover Finance, which are both competing in the first batch of Polkadot Parachain auctions. So with Parallel Finance, this is a DeFi product which will have an automated market maker, which will seek to operate a decentralized exchange or DEX that will try to find the best prices for the users when they're undergoing trades. There's going to be money markets that will be used for lending and borrowing. There will be insured staking, margin staking, and liquid crowd loans, which are actually being used right now for people to contribute to Parachain projects to receive slightly better rewards than normal. With Clover Finance, this product is about compatibility. It's going to have Ethereum virtual machine compatibility. There's going to be a Clover wallet that will be accessible via mobile, desktop, and software, and it can be used for managing assets, dApps, and NFTs. There's going to be cross-chain connectivity with Polkadot, Ethereum, Solana, BSC, Avalanche, and Fantom. So there's an impressive list right there. There's going to be gasless usage and fee distribution occurring on the platform. And there will be an identity-based fee schedule. With Parallel and Clover, I did some digging in terms of the key information. So with Parallel, we've got big name investors in the form of Alameda, Parachain, Pantera, and Sequoia. Clover also has Alameda and Parachain, but I think the investor group is slightly weaker. So their next best worth mentioning would be KR1 and Hypersphere. In terms of partners from the crypto industry, Parallel has Chainlink, which is an oracle used for data, and it's also partnered with the DeFi Alliance. Clover is also partnered with Chainlink, but has been around slightly longer as an active project and also counts Polygon, The Graph, and Anchor as partners. With Parallel, in terms of the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, Parallel is partnered with Astar, Litentry, and Manta, all of which have featured in videos here on the channel. So feel free to go and watch any of those for more information. Clover, meanwhile, has ecosystem partners in the form of Calamari, Crab, and Manta. The Parallel team is public. You can go to Parallel's website, which can be found by looking for Parallel Finance on CoinMarketCap, just to make sure you're finding the official website. So the team is public. You can go and see their names, and then from there, go and look for more information via LinkedIn or something like that. With Clover, there might be some names out there that can be found, but in my opinion, they're not easily found. So Clover doesn't list a public team on the website. For some investors, that might be a deal breaker, but there are other blue chip investors out there, huge whales, who have no problem investing in a non-public team. As for sister projects on Kusama, Parallel has Heiko Finance and Clover has Sakura Finance. Both of these are in the early stages, so it's sort of difficult to tell how they're progressing. Now into the real interesting data right here, the rewards. So with Parallel, there's the Parallel token, there's the Para token. It will have a total supply of 10 billion Para with zero inflation. The reward pool is 1.25 billion, which equates to 12.5% of the total supply. There's a hard cap of 40 million DOT, which means the contributions in the Parachain auctions cannot go above 40 million DOT. The rewards are set at a minimum of 25 Para per DOT. However, there could be more For example, if 20 million DOT are contributed and Parallel wins a spot, then a user might expect to get in the region of 50 para per DOT. The minimum contribution is 5 DOT, and this will be locked up for 96 weeks. As for distribution, the Parallel reward tokens will be unlocked linearly over 96 weeks. With Clover, there's the CLV token, which interestingly is already available and can be purchased on Binance right now. The total supply is 1 billion, but with 5% annual inflation. The reward pool is 200 million Clover. And this is where Clover has a bit of an edge because this represents 20% of the total supply. There's a hard cap, which is slightly bigger, 50 million DOT. However, I don't expect either of these hard caps to be reached based on what we've seen from the current projects that have won. So that we were talking Moonbeam and Akala, both of them have won and they haven't required anywhere close to 50 million DOT. The rewards for Clover. So the CLV token will be a minimum of 25 per each DOT. However, this could be more if the hard cap isn't even remotely closed in on. So that's worth monitoring. In terms of the contribution, again, it's a 5 DOT minimum for 96 weeks. This is standard for all DOT projects. In terms of distribution, what's good about Clover is that there will be 28% released immediately, and then there will be 72% over 23 months. In terms of the immediate release, this refers to the project going live on Polkadot. It's not currently live on Polkadot, it's running off Polkadot. In terms of the bonuses, Clover doesn't offer any bonuses, and I haven't listed bonuses here because the best bonuses for Parallel have been used up. However, what's interesting is if you go and try to use Parallel now, you can actually make contributions for other projects, and with Parallel, there's actually a way of using a derivative of DOT that can be staked and lent, but at the same time contributes to crowd loans. This is like high-level DeFi stuff, so I would say proceed with caution to anyone who's trying to get involved there. I'm not involved in that. Now, in terms of these projects, I would advise going to parachains.info/auctions if you're interested in keeping up with the current progress. As we can see, Akala won the first auction. The second auction has now finished. The crowd loan caps haven't been remotely close to being met. We're talking about in the region of 30 to 35 million DOT required for these high-level projects. Parallel and the Star have got quite an interesting tussle forming for the third slot. Both are currently on 8 to 8.5 million. And then Manta and Clover are tussling at around 3.2 to 3.5 million for the fifth slot. So we could see a similar repeat where there's heavy competition for the third slot, and then whoever doesn't win the third slot will win an easy fourth slot. And then we'll see intense competition for the fifth slot between Clover and Manta. Unfortunately, I don't think Latentry stands a chance. I haven't contributed. Crowd loan cap of 8 million. I mean, the lowest we're talking here is 3.5. Clover could go up in the coming weeks. So I think Latentry has set a crowd loan cap that will preclude Latentry from actually winning in this batch. But maybe they'll come back stronger for the next set. In terms of Manta, I've decided for the moment, I don't think I'm going to invest in Manta. Although I live in the north of Ireland, my jurisdiction is the UK, and there seems to be issues arising with privacy tokens. So I might just withhold my DOT and wait for the second batch of projects. Anyway, I've already contributed to Moonbeam, Akala, and Parallel. And I don't think I'm going to jump in on Manta because there's probably going to be more exciting projects coming. I think Manta's pretty cool, and if I didn't reside in the UK jurisdiction, I would probably get involved. But I'll wait and see what's coming up in the next batch. Plus, it gives me a chance to see if anything else cool is coming up. In terms of this website, I recommend that if you're looking at Parallel and you're looking at Clover, that you come and click on these wee icons here, because these will let you see based on the current contributions and the hard cap, how many tokens can be received. So something like Clover, there could be pretty high rewards compared to the hard cap, if that isn't reached, which honestly I don't expect it to be. I don't see projects 3 to 5 getting a higher contribution compared to Moonbeam and Akala. In terms of my final thoughts, yes, Parallel and Clover are both DeFi projects. However, there are use cases for each of these. When it comes to Parallel, they're going to have an AMM DEX, but then so will Akala. However, where Parallel looks interesting is just in the everyday usage, like being able to create derivatives of DOT. I think it's C DOT, and being able to then still contribute to crowd loans. I think that's pretty interesting and a solid use case right there, the lending and borrowing. However, I'm not into the minutiae of DeFi. I do have some DeFi plays going, but I'm not, I don't get deep into DeFi and all of the different aspects. I more prefer staking and some liquidity providing. I think Clover is maybe a little bit more interesting. It's even trading right now on Binance. You can get it for around about $1, so that's actually pretty useful. Well, it's trading between a range of $1 to $1.25. You can sort of put a clearer value on what your rewards are going to be. Also about Clover, I quite like the compatibility aspect with different chains. Interoperability, I think, is going to become a bigger play in the marketplace, and Polkadot's leading the way in that regard, and Clover's getting involved, and it's already partnered and with some of the best known blockchains around. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't think I'm going to invest in Clover or Parallel, but it's not because they're bad projects. They are promising. They've got good investors. They've got good use cases, and I think they could do well for some people. But I'm not hugely enthused by DeFi. I more prefer technology plays and things like that. So I'm just going to be holding off myself personally. But both of these projects could offer some impressive rewards based on the hard caps not being met, and I think that's worth monitoring. So, yep, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. And I'm going to be back next week. I'll hopefully be back up to 2 videos now that I'm feeling better. And I'm going to take a break from the Polkadot ecosystem and try and do a deep dive on another couple of coins that I think are interesting. And then hopefully it'll kickstart November with maybe a few coins that I think are worth watching. So yeah, please remember that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and that crypto trading can be risky. There are lots of scammers out there, so please stay safe. Do research carefully. Use sites like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko to get legitimate links, and don't join any chat channels or fall for any crap that people are trying to feed you, because there's just so many shillers out there and stealers. So just please try to stay careful in these times, and also that there might be just a little bit of volatility with the Bitcoin futures contracts closing for the end of November. So yeah, thanks. I've been Mike of Discover Crypto.